Hey everyone, Sam Signorelli, HM Fencing. Welcome back to Can Haz Armory. Today, how to make an armorer's best friend, the octopus cord. This plugs into the scoring box and has multiple connectors at the other end to test different weapons, different cord connections. You have one 3-pin end at one end, and you have a big splicing section where then you have everything else hanging off of it. I've got a bayonet, a 3-pin for epee, and a 2-pin for the foil. Other armorers have other stuff. Dan DeShane's cord, when I first met him, had every cable connector known to man, probably some that weren't. He had things that we've never seen in years. He had Tokyo Sport, he had Nova Scherma, he had an Italian, which I've seen and used the tester once in 20 years. Other people have other connectors. It depends what you're gonna do. For domestic use, we're using just those three, the 2-pin, the bayonet, and the 3-pin. So I've already done some work. I've got a length of cable attached to a 3-pin end, just like putting together a body cord from the body cord viz. This is marked so I know which end goes in the machine because I get confused sometimes. I've already stripped the ends, and these are stripped rather long because I wind them together. I'm going to set some big heat shrink over this right now, so we can put the heat shrink covering on later. So this is a later step. And then I have my 2-pin connector, ends already stripped. Same for my 3-pin and my bayonet. And we'll start soldering together. Stand by. Okay, so I'm going to do the A-line on the 3-pin connector first. So I've taken the A-line, I've already kind of tightened up here. I've slipped some heat shrink over this. Note I've pulled it back a ways from the end of the insulator sheath because the heat of the soldering gun will make it shrink a little bit if you're not careful. So I'm going to take the two lines here, cross them so they're cross perpendicular to each other, and then start winding them together. Nice and tight. So there's my splice. I'm going to put it in my helping hands here to hold it stable while I get my soldering gun get a little solder on that, warm up. It's melting. Put it against the wires. I'm going to put a little more solder, make sure because a little heat transfer, and then I can start soldering directly to the wire. It's done there. Always getting the tip off. Just like soldering anything, make sure you don't just glob the solder on. It's got to be heat up to the point where it melts the solder by contacting the material soldering. So take this out. Still on the hot side, but I can definitely pull some across. There it goes, and that's right within the solder. Solder's right within the sheath, and I will heat shrink this down just like on the body cord vid, and I'll do this the other line. So stand by a second. And there you can see that it's soldered down, or it's shrunk down. And this is now protected, so it won't shrink anything else. So now I'm going to do the other lines with the other stuff coming in. So hang on. Okay, so the one thing I skipped in the last set was the heat shrink on the single line is 1/8 inch. Now I'm going to be putting together the 3 lines from the other 3 connectors, and that's like a regular body cord. Use 1/4 inch heat shrink. So first I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap together the 3 lines from the weapon ends. So I got the bayonet, the 3-pin, and the 2-pin. I'm just going to wind it so this time, not worry about the crossing over bit. That comes later. Now together, and I'm going to put the heat shrink over it. So it's all ready to go there. Then I'm going to take the B-line from the box end and do the crossover prior to soldering retain. Okay, and we'll solder that together. Stand by. Okay, so I went and did the other line, so I have all 3 of the splice connections done, and I've tested with the ohm meter, so I have proper connection, A to A, B to B, C to C, no crossovers. All it means now is to put the big heat shrink down, just to make it nice and neat. in there. Okay. And here we go. And there it's shrinking. And there we are. And now the octopus cord is complete and ready to rock and help people out. This one, because it is for demonstration purpose, and I accidentally cut the epi end a little on the short side. If any armorer who is starting out wants this, please contact me at homfencing@hotmail.com. I'll be happy to send it to you. Armorers help each other out, and honestly, getting your first octopus cord is kind of a big deal. That's how you put the octopus cord to help with armory. It's always happy armoring.